What's up, y'all? We back in the flesh, dropping game. That's what we talking about today. Game. Today's video, we're gonna talk about how if you alpha, you red pill, whatever you think, you're a man. How today's society, you can't do a housewife. You can't have a housewife. And I'm just gonna elaborate, go straight to it. The first point can really just end all of it. And the first example of it is when you are an entrepreneur, or let's just take the president of the United States. Your wife is a reflection of you. Everything you do, she should be somewhere on your side. If you're an entrepreneur, your wife is like your assistant. So you're a businessman. Let's say you went to a lawyer, a dentist, whatever. You want your wife, if she don't have a career like you do, she have to be your assistant. Because if you're a businessman or entrepreneur, the goal is on ownership. You want to own things. And if you own things, you know what I'm saying, you want to own everything you do, then you need a team around you to help be a part of that. Your wife should be the main person on your team, obviously. If the president of the United States, let's take this for example, here in the United States, the president is one of the most powerful men looked upon as one of the most powerful men. And yes, whatever he does, he's responsible, he's liable for it. It's all his action. He gets the name, he gets the credit, he gets the title. But remember, they didn't give it the title of the first lady for a reason, because behind the man, the wife is just as important. She got to do interviews. She got to be on point. She got to be sharp, just like him. She got to represent everything he represents. Remember, if he's a Democrat, she can't be a Republican. You see what I'm saying? That his wife had to be a reflection of him. That wouldn't even make sense. Basically, like I'm saying, first off, what is a housewife even does? What is she considered? Why would she be considered a housewife? A housewife is a woman that's pretty much on salary allowance by her husband. She doesn't work. She doesn't have a job. She does all the household chores, cooking, cleaning, watching the kids, feeding the kids. She's responsible for all that. It's a real job. Like it's a job that's no joke. It's boring to me personally. If, I had to do this shit, what I'm saying, as a man. First of all, that's another thing. Now, we know worlds can be flipped and reversed. Before I go off the subject completely, that's another thing. If you red pill, you alpha, there's no damn way, a man should be considered a housewife. First of all, they don't even sound right. I'm a joke. You a house nigga. Man, the term house nigga means something else, but you a house man. You a house husband. Stay at home dad. That's what they call it, but it's some bullshit, BS. But anyways, you shouldn't even want to accept that role. That's a role that's not for you. I don't care how. Get off your ass work. Go after your passion, your ambition, follow your dreams, your goals. That's too beta. You know what I'm saying? That's not you. If you are alpha, that's not you at all. But anyways, like I was saying, I'm going over some of the qualities of a housewife and what her responsibilities. But at the same time, it's like the reason why I wouldn't work today in today's society is because the difference between women then and women now is women now is not accepting that role. They more ambitious. They got bigger dreams, bigger goals. And when a woman accepts that role in today's society, it's going to lead to disaster. And usually that disaster is infidelity, and I feel sorry for any man that placed himself in that position and think that it's going to last or it's okay, because again, you're setting yourself up for failure. You at work all day, your wife is doing the same old boring thing day to day. There's no excitement in her life. There's no arousal. Even if, I know like everything is different for different people, but like, even if you're one of those guys who like, man, I can make it work because at the end of the day, my wife, I represent what I represent. My wife is always going to be loyal to me because of who I am. you still skating a fine line that's really shouldn't be pushed. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, what I think is you should never do it. I don't care if you're alpha, beta, whoever you are. You should never do it. Even if you're a professional basketball player, you know, some type of athlete, whatever, you know, and you got these huge resources. Get your wife involved in things. Let her do things. She have to function. She needs a job. She needs something to occupy her time because the moment she have free time, that's the moment another alpha, another red pill is going to step in and fill that void. So your job is to keep her busy no matter what. She should be one busy. At the end of the day, if you're a passionate man, you should be with a passionate woman. You know, that translates outside the bedroom in the real world. You should want to be with an ambitious, passionate woman. You know what I'm saying? And she should have goals and dreams of her own, and she should be pursuing them and working towards them. You know, and if not, if she's following your lead, then you should be leading, and she should be behind you. Not at home watching the kids. Your kids are gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? If both of you guys working, this is why, you know, like when you gaining resources and you have a certain amount of income, you know, you put your kids through different things. It takes a village to raise a child. So, you know, you put your kids in summer camp, nannies, all this daycares and stuff. That means other people are involved in the growing of your children. You know what I'm saying? Get you a maid if you have the money and the resource. That way you don't have to worry about your wife, you know, doing those things. And she can still have her job and her career. And, you know, she still have time. And you monitor that closely because even with a career, don't let it fool you. Infidelity still can happen, but it's more likely to happen with a housewife. Why? Because it's just a boring job, a boring role. Women in today's society is not going to fulfill that at all today. And it's always going to be the pool boy, the cable guy, somebody around, Amazon, the delivery guy, somebody around that's going to fill that void that she's been missing because you're gone all the way, all the time. And it's really, as fucked up as it is, you kind of carry some of that burden. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hold some of that because at the end of the day, you let her be alone. And that's the thing. Women are always getting off. They need to always be aroused. And when you give them a position in a job like a housewife, nothing arousing about that, you know? It's boring, the same complacent, same thing, content, all this stuff. And I personally feel like it's something you definitely don't do. Peace. We out.